There have been many other firsts in the complex submarine repair business which have become the hallmark of Hunley's reputation. One I recall was replacing the entire submarine propulsion shaft at an overseas site. This hadn't been deployed before. This was done by a repair officer with vision and foresight in planning every detail of the job, and by his wonderful production management assistant and his people, who executed every detail to perfection in schedule. But that particular challenge, just like Horace Hunley's submarine experience, was not without its setbacks. Despite months of exact planning, the propeller shaft, which had been over in a field with weeds and everything for about 20 years, was found to be bent because it was sitting on these wooden chocks that had simply rotted away over 20 years. Supply people, though, recovered from their foreplanning and everything and had one shipped to Guam in time to do the work. Another aspect of Hunley's contribution has been her community service, her service outside of her Navy mission. With 12 to 1,300 sailors assigned, Hunley's crew has helped many in the communities where she has been stationed. Captain Helfand has mentioned Hunley's magnificent support of people stricken by hurricane damage in the recent past. The people of Hunley have always seemed to be involved with their civilian counterparts ashore. Everything from tutoring and the school help here in Norfolk, security assistance, handling emergencies such as helping to clean up a big jet fuel tank leak in Guam, Special Olympics sponsorship, sports involvement, individual community service, and many other charitable acts have been part of Hunley's history. When Hunley came to a new place, it was not long before her crew was a strong part of the fabric of the local populace. Hunley's genuine spirit of let's help out has been extended to many, time and time again, in many different places around the globe. As we think back on our time with this ship and the shipmates we served with, let us also recall the friendships we have made from our experiences ashore. Those reflections should be a highlight of our memories of Hunley and her service to all. Although designed as a ballistic missile submarine tender, Hunley repaired fast attack submarines also. But it was in 1987, however, that she retired her motto, "We serve to preserve the peace," and established her new theme, "We have the knack for fast attack," here in Norfolk. Although type of customer changed, Hunley's ability to maintain the readiness of subland submarines remained at the highest level of efficiency and production. Over this period, it seemed as though each vital component of the submarine force Atlantic was asked to do more with somewhat less funding than the year before. I mention this because during several of those years I was the fellow making the cuts. Again, through the determination of those on our submarine tenders, such as Hunley, and the leadership throughout their amazing crews, they found a way to get the job done, to keep our fast attack, tough sailors at sea, so they made their presence felt throughout the oceans of the world in their conventional deterrence missions. The crew of Hunley, while assigned to Squadron 6 and 8 here in Norfolk, has indeed done a huge job as the service support of more submarines than in any other squadron in the world. We often think of the repair function of submarine tenders and emphasize its contribution to the mission. I've done that quite a bit so far. But as Bill Helfand has mentioned, a submarine tender is a city unto itself and cannot accomplish those submarine repairs without the best efforts of all hands. When we consider the 32-year life of this ship, we should recall the solace of the chaplains that have been assigned, the care of the corpsmen and the medical and dental officers, the food service team, which has kept us on the job with award-winning meals for 1,200 people 4 times a day, the seamen who have battled a big Bertha to get the decks down to the bare metal time and time again, the storekeepers sorting, cataloging, finding that key repair part in the bowels of Hunley storerooms, the legal and administrative staff, whose job is not appreciated enough. The barbers. Nobody ever thanks the barbers. The postal clerks, the masters at arms, the marine security attachments, the navigators who guided the ship across the oceans, and the command master chiefs, and all the chief petty officers which form the heart of the leadership and chain of command on this ship. There are many others, but I remain convinced that Hunley's exceptional service reputation was formed by all hands and not just the repair department. Hunley sailors have enjoyed success, which was achieved by long hours of hard work by people who knew that technical problems of transcendent challenge and difficulty cannot be solved by routine management methods, routine people, or a routine work week. This attitude remains typical today with Bill Helfand's final crew who readied the ship for inactivation. Many of this final crew of USS Hunley were not yet born when Hunley first sailed off to Holylock to start her service life. But they have met the test. Just as other Hunley shipmates have done before them, they have been worthy of their ships. In my view, none of the accomplishments which I have briefly mentioned would have been possible without the incredible support of Hunley families. I suppose there have been other ships which have changed home ports more often, but like George, I think Hunley sets the record in my mind. Families have moved to and from the Atlantic and Pacific and vice versa, from the West Coast to the East Coast, shipyards and different home ports. They have accommodated the capricious Navy scheduler and been there to help their spouse when he or she came off the ship after a 12-hour day. Families of Hunley shipmates have been a key factor in the ship's success over these past 32 years. Their encouragement in the tough times, their joy in the good times, made a difference in the way Hunley performed. I salute and thank all of the Hunley families over the years for their help and support. Hunley shipmates' contribution to their country is not difficult to quantify. Professional sailors who served on this ship during its 32 years, individually and as a part of the Hunley team, contributed to the end of the Cold War, and more importantly, ensured that no aggression against this nation took place. You helped fulfill Senator Anderson's vision 34 years ago with that same spirit and dogged determination and dedication of Horace L. Hunley himself. Whether you were familiar with the Scottish refrain, "Lang may your lum reek," the Guam welcome, half a day, the Charleston community hospitality epitomized by our sponsor, Mrs. Gaylord, or the beautiful azaleas of Norfolk, your legacy is one of remarkable achievement in maintaining peace in our way of life. Because of your magnificent calling, we as a nation have been better able to emerge from a maze of uncertainty into an era of hope. So now it is time to bid farewell. I will simply say, Hunley, thank you for what you have done to keep America free. Thank you for your years of dedicated service, and thank you for peace. We shipmates who have served in you will be forever proud to be known as Hunley sailors. Thank you, and God bless.
Hunley, attend hut. Captain Holloway, Commander of Submarine Squadron 8, will read the decommissioning order.
from the Chief of Naval Operations to the Commander-in-Chief, United States Atlantic Fleet. On or about the 15th of September, 1994, but not later than 30 September 1994, decommission USS Hunley As31. Report completion of this action to your immediate superior in command. Captain Helfand, carry out your orders.
Aye, sir. Executive Officer, decommission USS Hunley.
Aye, sir. Officer of the deck, debark the ship.
Dark ship, aye, sir. Ship's company, center, face. March off. Executive officer, the cruise debarked, sir.
Very well. Will the guests please rise? Officer of the deck, retire USS Hunley's colors and commissioning pennant.
Aye, sir. Bugler, sound off. Hand salute.
Will guests please be seated? When the pennant is finally lowered from the mast and presented to the commanding officer, the ship is officially decommissioned. As is the tradition of the Navy, the senior enlisted serving in the command will present the departing commanding officer with a commissioning pennant. Command Master Chief Dean, present the commissioning pennant to Captain Helfand. Officer of the deck, present colors to the commanding officer.
On the commissioning pennant, the colors are retired, sir.
Very well.
Petty Officer of the Watch, present the deck log to the captain for final signature.
Present the deck log to the captain. Aye, aye, sir.
Petty Officer Shaw, Hunley's Sailor of the Year, is presenting the ship's deck log to Captain Helfand, where the captain will make the last log entry to the deck log. The last entry includes a poem written by a former Hunley officer, Chief Warrant Officer II Robert McPherson, United States Navy, retired. The deck log entry reads as follows. As the ship log is closed for the very last time, tradition suggests that it's ended in rhyme. We ponder the future, we scour the past, to find the right tribute to lay to her mast. The Hunley was born in a time of great fear. The nuclear threat was perfectly clear. The Soviets had placed a man into space and quietly launched a mad weapons race. So submarines added a critical role to launch a new weapon requiring control. Polaris was awesome, but had one great fault: its limited range and its need for a vault. So Hunley was born, and her sisters were too, to answer the challenge embracing the new. She traveled abroad all across the big world, and many new places her flag was unfurled. From Scotland to Guam, the mission was clear. The submarines needed a movable pier to nourish and strengthen and give them a rest. Between each long mission, she gave them her best. From machine shop to foundry, to galley to stores, the tender was constantly ready for more. And each boomer mission, when it was complete, guaranteed us our peace, a significant feat. In the course of the years, technology changed, and Hunley's role was soon rearranged. Poseidon and Trident replaced the old ways. The need for far missions had seen its last days. The Hunley adapted and found a new place. It fixed fast attacks at a furious pace. The pride and the purpose regained a new soul. Our people achieved each stated new goal. She welcomed new shipmates, the feminine few, who proved that we all wore the same navy blue. Later, a force caused by nature's strong hand caused destruction by hurricane on this great land. The Hunley was ready, with her many gifts, to provide help and welcoming lips to the people of Charleston and Miami too, and those out in Homestead, to mention a few. She sailed without notice and gave all she could to comfort the people as only she would. The honor she gathered could never replace the smiles that she saw on each child's face. As the Hunley retires, many things are now clear. By her unstinted service, she conquered the fear. The Soviets were humbled by their fated cause. They stumbled and failed, but it made us all pause. Even as this great lady sails into the night, will the world ever know a peace that is right? Remain ever ready to sail once anew. Your history proves that your mission was true. This is dedicated to the unsung heroes of the Cold War, all the crew members of the USS Hunley who maintained the highest state of readiness, the truest sense of professionalism, and the richest gift of service. They would ever ready to fight a battle they prayed would never come. USS Hunley, AS-31, decommissioned and deck log closed out 15 September 1994.
The watch is secured, sir.
Very well. Executive Officer, the watch is secured.
Very well. Captain, the ship is decommissioned.
Very well. Captain Holloway, I declare USS Hunley decommissioned.
Very well.
Will guests please rise for the benediction and departure of the official party?
Lord God, as we say farewell to this ship, remind us of the many gifts we received from USS Hunley. Throughout her long life, Hunley's generations of crew members performed the hard duties, provided the exacting skills, and served through long days and in far places to support the submarine force. We're also thankful for the learning, the growth, the positive influence, the friendship, and the dedication and purpose so many young people have found aboard this ship. Though Hunley's rarely been in the limelight or received great public acclaim, her work played a vital role in our nation's defense through some of our most threatened years. Let this heritage inspire us to lives of worthy service. Bless us in the memory of the devoted people and selfless deeds you gave us with this ship. Amen.
Retire the colors. Vice Admiral, United States Navy, retired, departing. Subron 8, departing. Hunley, departing. This concludes the decommissioning ceremony for USS Hunley. On behalf of the officers and crew, I invite you all to a reception which will be held at the Officers Club at the Armed Forces Staff College, located at the corner of Hampton and Terminal Boulevard. Maps will be available from the ushers. Also, the weather decks of the Hunley will be open for visiting for the next 45 minutes. We regret that guests will not be allowed to enter inside any of the ship's accesses due to preparation for inactivation. Thank you for coming. Will the guests please remain in the vicinity of their seats until the official party departs?